With Chesapeake Bay gleaming in the distance, we are inside M&T Bank Stadium near the Inner Harbor in Baltimore, Maryland. Today, it's week 3, and we've got a good one in store between the Los Angeles Rams and the Baltimore Ravens. It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Cost him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. The drive will commence with a run by J.K. Dobbins. And he'll get what he can up the middle, 3 yards. That'll bring up second down. Well, this defense for the Rams, very strong last week as they helped their squad improve to 2-0 on the young season.
And I'm eager to see the game plan and try to attack them this week, because when you take it away 4 times through interceptions, what do you do now when you go into a game? Do you decide you can't throw the ball? Do you try and run it more? Or do you tell your quarterback, make sure you see your guys open before you deliver?
Jackson's throw into the hands of Andrews. He's got this almost to the 40 before going out. 16 yards on that one and a Raven first.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
The throw over the middle taken in. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. 22 yards there, a first down. And here's Jackson on the option. It'll be a pickup of 5 on the keeper. It's second down. The Ravens at 2-0 here to begin the season. They come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
They go play action now. Jackson. Well, that's complete to the fullback, Ricard. And they're going to get this down to about the 37.
I wouldn't be surprised to see the next step in utilizing this position is to actually utilize more of a scat back in this spot, because we saw the catch there, right? He made it, but he's a bigger, stronger guy, maybe not quite as elusive as maybe someone else you would put there.
Yeah, didn't get the big yardage there. You might have a smaller back. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Well, that was all Lamar Jackson all the time on that drive, both through the air and in the end with the touchdown run.
Yeah, how about him doing things a little bit on the reverse side there, Brandon, because he softened him up throwing the football and opened up the running lanes. And when he gets a little bit of a sliver, he's gone, and that's exactly what he did there.
Tucker with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Stafford and the Rams come up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Now it's Stafford. He's got his target. It's the tight end, Tyler Higbee. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. Just like that, a pickup of 20 on their first play from scrimmage.
Defense gives up a touchdown on the opening drive. Offense, you got to want to get out there and get those points back right now.
And that's a sharp throw there to get this drive off to a good start. Here's the first carry of the game for Cam Akers. And he's going to have a Rams first down as the tackle made at about the 43-yard line. Well, no slow start here. A couple nice chunk plays back-to-back.
I love the momentum that they're showing here early because they did it both ways, right? Threw the ball on first down for a nice chunk of yardage. Came right back and ran the ball. Looks like they got the defense set back on their heels. Let's see if they can keep this moving.
And a good physical run that time. He's going to wind up gaining 5 on that one. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead him to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
How about that? Red man coverage and decided to test them early, but they proved up to the task and forced the incompletion.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Stafford. Complete. Jefferson the target. And a good job on the tackle there as they get him down shy of the first on the 35-yard strike. Short completion, just 4 yards. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. Interesting decision here. Opening drive, Charles. 4th and short. You're in field goal range. We'll see what they do.
I just shake a fist at my offense and say, go get it, guys. Because if you can't pick up 4th and short here, we're probably in trouble the rest of the game. Show some confidence. Show some aggressiveness. Go pick it up.
I guess they wanted to get that touchdown right back on their first drive, but failed to do so.
And what they have to be careful of is pushing so hard to stay right there, to stay even with their opponent, that they gas themselves out. You know, it's almost like horse racing. Sometimes you don't want to take your horse right to the front and let them do all the work, and then someone catch them at the end and pass them up. You want to make sure you moderate what you're doing along the way, and then go for the big finish.
23 yards, the final tally.
Well, as a coach, you absolutely love seeing your offense find their rhythm early, and that's exactly what we've seen so far. They had a touchdown on their opening drive, and now they connect here for another nice gain for a first down. This offense is moving the ball well, exactly as he drew it up in practice.
He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
His running ability has been an extra dimension of their game plan thus far. For once, though, he didn't create any magic against the front that's prepared for him to try and take off.
From the 36, Jackson. They set up the screen for nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And now the Rams have got it, going the other way. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line. There are 2 words that we hear coaches say all of the time. One starts with a B, one starts with an S, ball security.
And they preach it. They have it up in meeting rooms, right? You see the signs. They talk about it all the time. But still, when you got defenders out there who are preaching, hey, we're going to take the ball away from you, no matter what position you play, you've got to take care of the rock.
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Now, that's a mountain of a man that just made that stop, isn't it? But he's more than that. This guy's nimble and quick. More than a space eater, he just made a great play there.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Stafford. That's out to the flat for Akers. And a gain of 4 gets him right to the midfield stripe.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get it out to your running back, and it could turn into a big gain downfield. But what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
Off the fake to Akers. Here's Stafford. And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked. It's a loss of 10 on the sack, and it leads to 4. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. And here's Bradley Pinion now. This is fielded at the 7. Almost outkicked his coverage there. 48-yard punt, but 10 on the return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You've got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball.
All right, rifles one, that's going to be intercepted. Troy Hill picks it, and he will return this one to the 30-yard line.
So this defense coming up with a takeaway, and maybe that's something that can bring a little life to that sideline.
Well, I don't want to say that they've been sleepwalking through this first half because that's simply not true, but you're right. We haven't seen a lot of fire from these guys, really, on either side of the ball. So maybe that's the catalyst that they needed to get them back into this game.
Quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
But defensively, you're over there trying to catch your breath and try not to show the offense that you're a little bit fatigued. You're right back out there after the turnover. Now they've got to work towards getting another couple of stops and forcing them into at least a long field goal situation.
About 3 yards there to the 27. Pretty good little two-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on third down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
In danger of squandering their great field position as they come up on a 3rd and 7. Here's Stafford. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
4th down, we go from one mat to another. Stafford heads off. Matt Gay gets set for the Rams field goal.
And it bangs off the left upright and deflects away. It's no good. And this will stay at a 7-point game. So he had a chance to get him on the board there, but unfortunately that big yellow metallic structure in the back of the end zone, it had other plans.
And that's when we're kickers watching it the whole way saying, oh no, don't hit it. Rats.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going.
And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. Throwing now, Jackson on 1st down. And a quick throw here, that's complete.
And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
To throw again is Jackson. 8 yards that time, able to take it. The result is a 1st down.
Well, we've seen Jackson already have success in the first half running the football, and he gets good yardage on the ground again there. I mean, I know it's a $64,000 question, CD, but how do they contain him better?
You have to win against the blockers ahead of you. If those guys even occupy a defender for even a half a second, then Lamar Jackson is gone. You got to take those blockers and move them so that you have clear vision of Lamar Jackson, and hopefully you can hem him in.
From the red zone now, here's Jackson on 1st down.
They'll find Bateman once more. And the Ravens are going to be looking at 1st and goal as they move this down to the 4-yard line.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
Now Jackson taps this forward jet sweep. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line.
A nice play design there with a touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal.
A slant route caught by Bateman.
And he gets halfway there from the 4 to the 2 on a gain of 2.
What terrifies defenses when they see slant routes thrown is that the receiver is on the move, and oftentimes he catches it and gets upfield. Does a really nice job rallying to him and stopping him for a minimal gain.
Breida.
And he is going to lose yardage here. A 5-yard loss there is going to bring up 4th down. So Jackson will head to the Ravens sideline, and on comes Justin Tucker for the field goal try. Tucker's kick is good.
So another scoring drive there, Charles, and an early 2-score lead.
You'd like the 6 there, partner, but you'll take the 3, and I think they have to be happy about the way they moved the ball in these first 2 drives. They have to feel good about their opportunities the rest of the game.
From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. Nothing for them yet from an offensive standpoint, down 10-zip as they come up 1st and 10. And that closed up quickly there as he gets it up only to about the 17. It's a gain of a yard, and it takes us to the 2-minute warning.
A reminder coming up in a couple of minutes' time. We'll pay a visit to Jonathan Coachman, the coach in our EA Sports studios. They'll have a look back at the next-gen stats from this first half of action.
Now a play fake it at Stafford. And his throw here's incomplete.
Certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. The shotgun snap for Stafford. He'll get this complete to Cooper Kupp.
And he is going to have a Rams first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Yeah, these are the types of plays they're going to need to hit on if they're going to get back into this game. It hasn't been the greatest of first halves, but this is a nice throw here on 3rd down, and they keep the drive going.
They'll run on 1st down with Akers.
And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8.
That was a good run, and it got to the 2nd level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle, and oftentimes we call...
Trying to find Kupp, but it's intercepted. Picked up by Brandon Stevens.
And the return across midfield and to the 46-yard line. Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because I thought I was going to run out of fingers, right? Because I'm not all that skilled as a mathematician. But you're right, it felt like a matter of time, and you got to think the guys on defense, they couldn't wait for this opportunity after what they saw on tape. That was nice work there defensively to force incompletion. Now, even though this drive started in plus territory, they're still not in field goal range yet. So they can work towards another couple of stops and not allowing that turnover to hurt.
Meanwhile, Jackson's throw complete there to Bateman.
Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Here's Jackson.
He tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Ernest Jones. And the Rams force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27. And that now 2 interceptions thrown in the 2nd quarter.
And you know, a lot of people look at these guys and they think to themselves that maybe, possibly, they're still thinking about the first one, and they probably are. I think in this case, he's just trying to atone for the first interception, tried a little bit too hard, maybe forced it a bit, and instead created a second one.
He'll be tackled shy of the 35. Shifty footwork gets him a little extra on the play. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. And he'll work this back to right around the line of scrimmage and surrender there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. They'll fake the give. Now Stafford. This one is incomplete.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Now, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
Well, indeed, stop him on 3rd down. And now what do you want to do with your timeouts? So we have reached halftime with our score 10-0. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando. That's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. The Rams set to receive the 2nd half kickoff, and they trail here as we resume play. And this will not be returned, so the 2nd half begins with a touchback. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line.
Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either. So certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well, and they've kept them around in this game. Now, they've got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
They'll fake it. Now Stafford. That'll be caught. It's Kupp. And out across midfield down to the 45. 22 yards there, a 1st down. On the handoff, it's Akers. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That was a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. To throw is Stafford.
He'll dump this off to Akers. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line.
Well, if my calculations are correct here, and I think that they are, he's now over 55,000 career passing yards.
Well, you did get a fine education in the Midwest, my friend, so I know that that happened, okay? I know those Butler Bulldogs very proud of what they sent out there, so I'm trusting your numbers. 55,000 yards? Wow. I mean, what more can you say?
Yeah.
Wow.
He was already in the top 10. Now he just keeps climbing toward the top. He was held without a catch in the first half, but he's got one here, and he also picks up a 1st down.
They'll run this with Akers.
And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line.
Brandon Stevens there on the tackle.
Not a run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
Second down, they'll go with Akers again.
And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to third down.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
Off of play action. Here's Stafford. He rifles one that's intercepted.
And the Ravens are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 7.
And that has to be a little bit discouraging because after all their halftime talk, adjustments and points of emphasis, their first drive ends with an interception. Absolutely aggravating if you're a head coach because you spent all that time, gone through every situation possible, and it still ends in a turnover.
After the interception, here's Jackson going for Bateman. He's got him on the out route. And he'll go out of bounds after getting this across the 15. Drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Powering forward. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
On 1st and 10, it's Jackson.
That's complete to his receiver, Bateman. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line.
I know that no game in the NFL is ever easy, but they're making it look that way. Everything is being done with such precision. Just on this drive alone, 3 plays, 3 first downs. If you're on defense, you're scrambling, looking at each other, trying to figure out how are we going to slow these guys down.
Now Jackson on 1st down. This will be caught by Brown. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're rolling up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
Throwing on 1st down, it's Jackson. This will be caught once again by Brown.
And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here.
And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to zone.
Under pressure, and he'll go down. Back at the 26-yard line.
Finally hauled down for the first time this game. Multiple defenders in there to drop him. Remember, they had the nice gain on the previous play, but they just gave a lot of it back right there on that sack.
Yeah, they get the sack, get back some real estate. Felt like the type of play that can spark a defense and swing some up.
And in for the Ravens touchdown.
Rashad Bateman.
His first touchdown of the new season. And his guys now an extra point away from taking a 3-score lead. Tucker able to connect on the extra point. And that makes our score 17-0. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped it to 23.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
We're in Baltimore, third quarter action, 2nd and 10. Here's Akers.
And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line.
59 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
On first down, they'll stay with Akers on the ground.
And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
You got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
Play action. Stafford. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Michael Pierce and all of his 330-pound glory gets the sack.
What a nice read play by the defensive tackle. Never bought the play-action fake. Went right for the quarterback and put him on the ground.
So now Stafford and the Rams after the sack, and they're staring up at a 3rd and long.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
Middle of the field to Jefferson. And they'll get him down at about the 37, well short of the first.
Here's Bradley Pinion now. As he'll get it away for the second time. We have played 3 quarters. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They're looking at a 3rd straight win here if they can hold on.
He finds Bateman over the middle.
And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Nice way to start the drive. A gain of 12 and a first down.
Jackson with a handoff to Dobbins on the option.
Making the stop that time, Bobby Wagner.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Jackson. Looking for Bateman. He's got him complete.
A 5-yard pass on the heels of a 5-yard run. Good enough for the first.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
They'll throw on first down with Jackson. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on.
Well, that's not one you see very often on Aaron Donald because we know he's not trying to do anything intentional, but that time, just a little too late for the officials' liking.
So now a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 after roughing the passer.
Jackson firing quickly out wide for Bateman.
And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
And he'll throw this one away, but I don't think he was out of the pocket. No, here comes the flag.
Yeah, he hadn't gotten far enough away from the pocket to throw that football away, and that draws the flag.
Yeah, the old tackle box, right? Get outside of each tackle, and then you can go ahead and throw it away, and you're in good shape. But if you're back there in the pocket, you got to make sure of what you're doing.
Now on 3rd down, that pass
That's knocked down in the backfield and incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And a great job on special teams to down it, as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
2nd down, they'll go with Akers again. And a nice pickup as this one gets him to the 10-yard line. 65 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yards to put themselves in a good spot.
Here's Bradley Pinion as he's on to punt for L.A. He'll take it a few steps in front of the 50. It's a 40-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And the Ravens set up well to begin their drive as it'll begin in enemy territory already. On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Give the tackle to Terrell Lewis. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Jackson going to keep it running right. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down.
Well, he's had success running the football in this one, and that's undeniable. But that time, the defense was on to it.
And, partner, I think the more you see a play like this, the more they're able to diagnose it quicker and easier for them to defend it. I think you have to dress it up a little bit and show maybe some different formations and looks.
Here's Jackson on 3rd and long.
That's complete, left side to Bateman.
And he's going to be taken down at the 39, clearly short of the first by a few yards. It'll be a gain of 12, but it will also lead to 4th down. And that last reception puts him over 150 yards now on the game, Charles.
And now it's not just execution. It's not just performance. It's a mental aspect that's going on. Because right now, he's got the defense so much on their heels, got them looking at each other. Who's going to cover this guy, and what type of coverage can we put out there to try and slow him down?
4th down, here's Jackson. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. And the Rams are going to get it back here just past the 35. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
And he'll grab a gain of 5 out of this up to the 41-yard line.
Nice satisfying run on 1st down for the offense, picking up 5, which means defensively, the thought process is entirely different. You don't want to panic, but at the same time, you're saying to each other, we've got to tighten this down. We can't give up gains like that.
And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him.
Justin Madubuike working his way to quarterback that time.
The one thing I'll do now, these guys on defense, they don't want this game to end. They're winning by multiple touchdowns. They've shut down the opposing quarterback in a big way, and they're still picking up sacks as we approach the end of this one.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Desperation time for Stafford on 4th down. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert,
and they turn it over. No luck for the Rams as they fail here on 4th down. And the Ravens get the football back and in great shape.
Jackson on the give to Dobbins. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory.
Snap will come from the 31 on 2nd and 7.
Now Jackson taps this forward jet sweep, and he is going to lose yardage here.
This defense not fooled one bit on that touch pass.
And this has become one of those kind of in vogue plays, you know, kind of like the shuffle pass was a few years ago. This one never got off the ground, but you understand why a lot of teams are running it. These wide receivers, a lot of them, they've run like running backs with the ball in their hands.
On 3rd down, it's Connor. And he'll be stopped short of the first down as they rally to tackle him at about the 28. Call it a gain of 5. 4th down now.
They'll try and run the option.
And boy, is he close. Did he get there? No, they're going to say he's short of the line to gain. The Ravens go for it, but come up empty. And the Rams are going to take possession of the turnover on downs. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line.
Their mini 2-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat.
A running play there, going to get 11 as they get a quick first down.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
One last throw here for Stanford. And the Raven pressure too much. There he goes.
So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory, and they did it in shutout fashion. Impressive.
Would it be too